Hey guys, it's TheFrXion here, Tag12. Ivan call me, I don't really care. Welcome to World of Tanks, and yeah, this video, it's a little bit of a rant, just a little bit. I don't want to go too much, too far, but I think there's a point and an argument to sometimes disable the chat, because some things that you see in the chat are just so inexcusably stupid that it just doesn't make any sense. And arguing with players, especially in World of Tanks, is just a lost cause. That's why I really do not get upset. I do not interact or get like into these screaming matches on the message board or whatever. None of that matters to me anymore. I just want to have fun. I want to play the game, and I don't really care too much about all of the negativity that is, going around there. But sometimes I think you have to just take a stance and maybe think about turning off the chat, because there is just not a lot of value to be had in certain rounds. We're playing on Live Oaks, and you can really dislike me for it, but we're playing the BZ-176. I know it's a tank that is very, very disliked, and it's a very powerful vehicle, and I get it. But right here you can see that we are only 3 tanks, and yeah, the Borsig dies really early on, and I didn't want to go too far because I knew that they are going to be playing the tracks, and they're going to be really aggressive. And the Chimera moved himself into a position where he was going to get auto-spotted immediately, and he's going to be out of the picture. The Scorpion G over here is going to be exposed in a second, but, I think, like, everyone is playing their own game. I'm not going to be the one who is going to tell these guys that they're going to be exposed really badly if we do not hold the tracks. But you can see the majority of my team has gone into the city, and this is just going to be one of those rounds that is lost very early on because, people do not care about the other flank. And that's fine by me. I'm not complaining. I'm not, telling anyone that they have to be over here. But it's going to start in just a second. I try to make the best out of this situation. The best out of the situation for me is to fall back, get into a hull down position where I can utilize the gun depression that the BZ-176 has, and also try to stop the influx of enemies coming in from the tracks. I'm trying to keep these guys off the back of my team that is still pushing the city. And they're not doing very well. They have already lost 3 vehicles in the city, even though they have a numerical superiority over all of the other vehicles that are there from the enemy. And I'm just trying to hold this place. So, obviously, from the outset, if you do not understand anything about tactics and strategy and map awareness, it looks like I'm camping, because it's basically camping. But if I move forward and I attack the enemy position, which they have obviously taken up now, I'm going to die immediately. So in this position, I'm going to at least give my team a little bit of a winning chance to not immediately lose everything at once. It's not looking good though, right? City is not faring very well. We lost the Scorpion Gs. Everyone who was over here, the TVP is going to help me out, the SPTK. And you can already see in the chat, somebody is really upset. It's the RHM, the Waffenträger. But he went into a position that I would really not go into, especially if you do not have any support. So it's kind of your own doing if you get knocked out. But yeah, we digress. Right there is an Iron Arnie. He has actually been a really smart player. He's moved around the bushes at the back so that I don't spot him. And now he's like on the side of me, and he can spam heat shells through my turret. It's the same thing I would do, because this tank is just really, really dumb in the way that you have a lot of protection, and it's really difficult to take care of if you have really bad penetration. But right here you can see, I'm still doing work. I'm still trying to hold this area, and this is where everything starts. The IS-3 is now really going into the tangent that everyone is a coward, right? Sometimes these things happen. Sometimes your team goes into one place and it just doesn't work out, right? But it's a little bit of the ignorance and the complete the complete ignorance of the fact that the entire other part of the map was left open with three vehicles that is kind of ironical or ironic, if you think about it, because now he's calling everyone a coward and that we all suck. And that's completely fine. I can live with all of that. I don't care if anyone insults me. This is an online game. None of this really matters. But it's kind of the idea of nobody ever taking any kind of form of responsibility for their choices that put you into this situation where you're not kind of able to win the match. So you can see people are looking for a scapegoat because it didn't really work out with their push in the city, that they're now looking for a scapegoat because they obviously didn't do anything wrong. So everyone who is sitting, I'm not really sure what a sitter is a coward, and right there we get absolutely annihilated by that 122 TM, and we get set on fire. And you can just see that people are really, really ashamed. And now the focus has shifted over to me, right? Because I'm sitting inside of this dip, and I should be ashamed for that because I was guarding the enemy flank, the other flank. This ignorance in World Tanks is one of the things that is incredibly frustrating sometimes, because you cannot even explain to these players like what the intention was, and it just looks really stupid. And the thing is, these players will never be able to kind of adapt and to improve their game because they are not able to adapt accordingly to the situations at hand, right? And that's what makes these games exceedingly frustrating when you're trying to reposition. I understand when players get upset when you, from the get-go, immediately run away and utilize the other players as kind of, the scapegoats, or, the target practice for the enemy, and you do not support them. But in this scenario where the entire flank falls and you want to win this game, and you try to win it by holding one flank and hoping that the other team or the other part of the team tries to win a flank, you're kind of looking at a lose-lose situation for yourself. And it's just really insane how World of Tanks, how I think that the player and the teamwork has kind of digressed over the last couple of years. And I'm not really sure what has happened, but these rounds happen more and more often when I play World of Tanks. And I'm not sure, but it's not very enjoyable when you're trying to win or when you're trying to put a shift in, and majority of your team is just kind of... obviously, you cannot expect everyone to be good at the game. You cannot expect yourself to be great at the game. Obviously, I'm not insanely talented player. I just know some things, where to go and when not to go. But it's exceedingly frustrating to have these experiences when after the game people also message you, right? It's not just that they message you during the game, but they also message you after the game to tell you that you're a dumb motherfucker for sitting at the back of the map. And it's just that frustration that you cannot really, what am I supposed to tell them? I just closed the chat, I didn't respond, put it on my blacklist. But it's just what are you supposed to do? Because you're in the right, the other player was definitely in the wrong, because it is not like I was trying to hide there all game long. But it's not even worth your time. And the frustration in World Tanks that keeps on mounting up is insane. I do not understand how there's even more frustration that you can find inside of the community, not just with bad tanks and with bad with bad matchmaking and everything, but it's insane. And there's a lot of negativity in World Tanks that I really do not like. Either way, I just wanted to get this off my chest because it was just really annoying. I don't like to rant or create drama most of the time, but sometimes I think it's adequate, because I can just kind of vent and get this out of my system. Either way, you guys tell me, did I overreact? Am I overreacting right now? Was the IS-3A completely right, and I completely was just sitting there and doing nothing for my team? Well, either way, tell me in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, have a good one.